Microphone check, test 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2, test 1 2. Mic check 1 2, check 1 2. And good afternoon, good morning still, at least for a little bit, and welcome to Case Western Reserve University in Cleveland, Ohio for Game 1 of the NCAA Division III Cleveland Regional. As Case Western Reserve University, the host, 7th-ranked team in the country, will be taking on Alvernia. We are set for an 11:30 start, but likely to be delayed a little bit here as the rain's still falling, not very heavy, certainly not heavy enough that it would stop the team from playing through it, but the tarp also on the mound currently, and that's going to take a little bit of work to get that tarp off and to dry things off over there, get some extra clay on there. So we're likely looking at a couple minutes delay in addition to the hour-and-a-half delay we've already had. As you can see, the Spartans taking the field right now, but it's not the starting lineup, it's the mound crew. So we will be back with you in a couple minutes as in the meantime, you can enjoy a bunch of baseball players attempting to find a place to dump water off a tarp. We'll be back in a little bit as we get set for the start of the 2024 NCAA Division III Regional here in Cleveland in a few. And good afternoon, and welcome back once again to Case Western Reserve University as the Spartans and the Golden Wolves just a few minutes away from getting started here. And let's go ahead without further ado and get you starting lineups beginning with the batting order for the visiting team in today's game. That will be Alvernia University, which comes into the game with a 28-16 overall record. Leading things off will be Evan Thomas, the left fielder. He'll be followed by the left-handed hitting right fielder, Quincy Asanison. It'll be Mike Ramundo, the second baseman, hitting third, and then Jason Kelly, the DH, today in the cleanup spot. Matt Edwards, the first baseman, hits fifth, followed by Ben Howden, the third baseman. Bobby Hansen, the shortstop, bats seventh. Garrett Hunter, the catcher, bats 8th, and then Logan Nelson playing center field and batting 9th. On the mound today for Alvernia is the lefty Chris Sasso. We'll tell you more about him as he takes the hill in the bottom of the inning. For the Spartans, defensively over at first base today, Dane Camphausen. Second baseman is Franco Alonso. The shortstop is Nate Arterburn, and the third baseman is James Powers. In the outfield, left fielder is Tyler Stilson, center fielder Logan Andraco, and the right fielder is Nick Harms. Doing the catching is the graduate student and law student, Jack Anderson, freshly off being named the UAA Player of the Year. And on the mound is the senior Reese Marley, who for the second straight year will pitch in Game 1 of the regional tournament for the Spartans. Marley on the season, 5-2 with a 5.06 ERA through 11 starts. He's thrown 58 2/3 innings, allowing a 248 opponent's average. He struck out 59 in those 58 2/3 innings, is the program's all-time leader in strikeouts. And we'll get things going here with a called strike to Evan Thomas. It's 0-1. Thomas hitting a .293 on the year with 8 runs batted in. He swings and grounds that one foul, and it's 0-2. Thank you for joining us today. I'm John Schwartz. We're beginning a little bit late here as there's been some persistent rain throughout the Cleveland area this morning. It continues into the start of this game, but expected to fade away as the day and the tournament progresses this weekend, and optimistic we could get 2 in here today. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Reese Marley gets things started by striking out Thomas. He was unable to hold up. I believe the strike called on the swing there and not on the take. Either way, it's 1 away to get things going here in the first. So with 1 out now, they'll bring up Quincy Asanison, a .231 hitter on the season with 3 runs batted in. The lefty takes the first pitch for a called strike, 0-1. Asanison, the only left-handed hitter in the lineup today for Alvernia. And this is down and out there, does Marley, and it's 1-1. Marley holding lefties to a .235 average this season, as that one's fouled away, and it's a 1-2 count. A good sign early here for Marley. When he gets in trouble, it tends to be when he's unable to locate the strike zone. But so far, so good. This season for Marley, 33 walks in 58 2/3 innings. He can be tough when he is on his game, though, and the Spartans need him to be on his game this tournament. 2-2 now the count. Here's the 2-2. Down low, ball 3, full count 3-2. The rain continuing to fall for the moment. But again, the anticipation is that as this game goes on, it should fade away a bit and lighten up. In fact, it already is a little bit lighter than it was earlier. The heavy rain came in at about 8 o'clock or so this morning. Other than that, it's mostly looked like this, just kind of spitting outside. That one barely misses ball 4, and so Asanison draws the walk, and he'll be on base. This is an Alvernia team that does like to run. Asanison has stolen 5 bases on 6 attempts this season. And for Asanison, who has a tendency to draw walks, that's his 24th through 24 starts now this season, and he's on base. A speed threat there. As the big hitter in this Alvernia lineup steps up, Mike Ramundo, a .458 hitter on the season. He's driven in 36 and takes a called first strike, 0-1. Alvernia, under the leadership of longtime head coach Yogi Lutz, a program with a pretty good history. The 0-1, up high and out, 1-1. A couple major leaguers certainly turned out by the program, including Coach Lutz's son, Zach Lutz, who played for the Mets briefly, as did another one of his former players, Anthony Recker, former catcher. That's up and out, ball 2, and Marley trying to settle in here after a strong start with that strikeout to open the game. Now has a runner on at first, 1 away. A swing and a miss there, and now it's a 2-2 count on Raimundo. Throw down to first, not in time. Here's the 2-2. And it's fouled away. The Spartans 31-9 on the season, the winningest season in regular season program history for the Spartans. Currently ranked 7th in Division III. If the Spartans pitching can hold up in tournament play, they'll be a tough team to beat. Another one fouled away. 2-2 still. And I believe we've got our first broken window of the tournament, as that one might have caught one of the windows of the dorms here. I was going to say, it's good news that everyone, I think, is out of their dorms right now for the most part. Maybe a couple seniors left in there for graduation, which will be on Sunday here on the Case Western Reserve campus. 2-2. Nope, throw down to first, not in time. Raimundo at the plate. Big at bat for him, with a runner on at first here in the first inning. The 2-2. And it's hit in the air, center field, deep, going back as Andreyko. He's got a beat on it through the raindrops. Slips as he makes the catch in center field, and that'll be the second out of the inning. So Raimundo gave that a nice ride, but Andreyko has done a good job out in center field all season long and is able to pull that one in without issue. And there are two gone now for the cleanup hitter, Jason Kelly. Kelly hitting at .387 on the season, 2 home runs, 42 runs batted in. Kelly, a likely person to potentially see some time on the mound here as well, as that one sent down the line. Right field, Harms is over, and a foot into foul territory makes the catch, and the first inning is over, and Reese Marley pitches a scoreless first, and we'll move into the bottom of the first inning as the Spartans look to strike early in this one. So between innings here, let's go ahead and get you the starting lineup for Case Western Reserve, the batting order. Leading things off will be Logan Andreyko. He'll be followed by Jack Anderson, the catcher, and then James Powers, the third baseman, hits third. Nick Harms, the right fielder, batting cleanup. Then Dane Camphausen, the first baseman, in the 5 spot. Zach Carinci, the designated hitter, hits 6th. Franco Alonso, the second baseman, batting 7th. Tyler Stilson, the left fielder, in the 8th spot. And Nate Arterburn, the shortstop, bats 9th. Defensively for Alvernia, first baseman is Matt Edwards, second baseman Mike Raimundo, the shortstop is Bobby Hansen, and at third base we'll see Ben Howden. In the outfield, Evan Thomas in left, in center field will be Logan Nelson, the right fielder is Quincy Asanison. Doing the catching today is Garrett Hunter, and pitching to him will be the lefty Chris Sasso. Sasso, who wears number 22, is a sophomore lefty out of Jackson, New Jersey, Jackson Liberty High School. He's 6'2", 190 pounds. This season, Sasso 6-3 on the year through 13 appearances, including 10 starts. He has a 3.21 ERA, and through 61 2/3 innings, has allowed 50 hits, 24 runs, 22 of those earned. He has struck out 55, walked 30, and opponents are hitting .219 against him for the campaign. Sasso will complete his warm-ups here, again with the light rain still falling, although the skies may be brightening a bit. I think the prevailing thought is that this game would be started in the rain, but as it as it continued on, I should say, the rain would tail off. Got a couple of the umpires here in the booth right now for our second game, and I'm sure they're happy to be inside for this one and not outside for this one, and hopefully the rain will clear up for them later on. In the meantime, the Spartans looking to get things started off on a high note here with Logan Andreyko stepping up to the plate. Andreyko hitting at .373 on the season, an all-UAA second-team selection. He has 2 home runs, 17 runs batted in on the season, and he'll take the first pitch on the upper outside corner for a strike, 0-1 on Andreyko. Logan this season hitting .273 against lefties. Hits this in the air, center field, coming over and making the catch for the out is Logan Nelson, and there's one away early.
Catcher, number 5.
As Jack Anderson will step to the plate. Anderson leading all Case Western Reserve players this season with a .405 average. Another tremendous season for Anderson, who eclipsed the 200 hit mark for his career earlier in the year. He's got 3 home runs, 37 runs batted in. He scored 58 runs and takes the first pitch down low, ball 1. Anderson named the UAA Player of the Year for the 2nd straight year, the Position Player of the Year. Now, that doesn't even take into account his contributions on the mound, where he picked up 2 saves in as many tries in UAA play. And he takes the fastball up and in, 2-0. Sun's starting to peek out from behind the clouds here a little bit. Called strike, brings the count to 2-1. Sasso now delivers. And the breaking pitch misses inside, and it's now 3-1 on Anderson. (3-1) on the way. Down low, ball 4, and the Spartans have a runner on, as each team now has drawn a 1-out walk here in the first inning. The Spartans with the speed threat on at first base, and the catcher, Jack Anderson, who does not have your typical catcher speed. Anderson has stolen 10 bases on 11 attempts this season, although he has not been running as frequently lately. We'll see if he's moving here. Not much of a lead at first with James Powers, the graduate student at the plate, who takes the first pitch down low, ball 1. Pitch selection at the plate, a key for the Spartans, always, but especially this weekend. Typically, if they're laying off of pitches outside the strike zone, they're going to do some damage offensively. Powers takes that in the dirt, and it's now 2-0. Sasso maybe showing some nerves here in the first inning. First 9 pitches, 6 have been out of the strike zone. Powers is hitting at .357 on the season. 2 home runs, 51 runs batted in for Powers in his first year as a Spartan. Powers, who completed his undergraduate career at Anna Maria College, coming to Case Western Reserve as a graduate student, and has been a perfect fit for this team. Started every game so far. Checks his swing there, but takes it for a strike, and the count now goes to 2-1. Another one in the dirt, gets away. Anderson going to second. The throw, and not in time as Anderson comes in standing up, moving up to second base on the wild pitch. And now first base is open here. And with Powers at the plate, you know, if you're Sasso in this situation, you certainly don't want to walk Powers here, but you can make a competitive pitch to him. You don't have to lay one over the middle of the plate. In fact, you should. You've got some difficult hitters behind him. It's one Powers typically is looking to go the opposite way with. We'll see what he's doing here. He holds up and takes a strike on the outside corner, and the count now goes full, 3-2. Powers, despite being a left-handed hitter, is batting at .478 against lefties this season. So he's certainly held his own. Here's his 3-2. And he swings, hits it out in front of the plate. Catcher has it. The throw to first, and is in time, dug out nicely by the first baseman, Edwards. And that'll be the second out of the inning. Moving up to third on the play is Anderson, as Nick Harms will now be the hitter. Harms hitting a .283 on the season. He tied the program record with 12 home runs during the year. He's driven in 51. First pitch on the way to Harms. Up high, ball 1, 1-0. And that ball rocketed into right field, and it's down for a base hit, and the Spartans strike first. Anderson coming into the score, the 52nd RBI of the season for Nick Harms. And Case Western Reserve jumps out on top 1-0.
Number 34, Dane Camphausen.
So that'll bring Dane Camphausen to the plate now. Camphausen hitting at .386, an all-UAA first-team selection in his first year with the Spartans after playing his undergraduate career at the College of Worcester. And you talk about guys who have fit right in, Dane has certainly been that. Nick Harms, who dives back into first, a stolen base threat, leads the team with 15 steals on as many tries this year. Big lead at first now for Harms. And a called strike on the lower inside corner to Camphausen, 0-1. Harms there trying to draw the attention of the pitcher, Sasso, who with him being a lefty is going to look right at Harms there and knowing that he's got a threat, try to distract him a little bit. That ball hit in the air deep towards right field, back at the wall, and it's gone. Home run, Dane Camphausen, his 13th of the season. 3-0 Spartans. Dane Camphausen, who hit 12 home runs in the regular season in his first at-bat of the postseason, drives in two. And Case Western Reserve jumping out in front here. It's now 3-0. Well, if you're a Spartan fan, you couldn't have asked for a better start than this. See if they can keep it going now with Zach Carinci at the plate. He takes a called first strike, and it's 0-1. And that one hit in the air, right field. And that'll end the inning. So Carinci flies out, but the Spartans with 3 2-out runs, including a 2-run homer for Nick Harms. Case Western Reserve leading 3-0 after one. We'll be back in just a minute. Edwards, Howden, and Hanson due up for Alvernia when we return. Three to nothing Spartans, top of the second inning as the first pitch misses outside to Edwards, 1-0. It'll be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters for Alvernia this inning. Edwards, Howden, and Hanson due up. And for second pitch of the at-bat, hit in the air, center field deep, going back is Andraco, still going back, but on the run makes the catch for the out. And Draco continuing to impress defensively out in center field. He's had a couple balls he's had to go back pretty good on, but has gotten to both of them. Spartans' outfield range paying off here early on with a couple of catches that the guys have had to get on the run for, but so far so good for Case Western Reserve, and Reese Marley with one out now in the second will face the third baseman, Ben Howden, who takes a called strike 0-1. Marley looking sharp here early on. Again, usually you could tell with Reese. As that one fouled off. And it's now 0-2 on Howden. Howden hitting at .308 on the season. 5 home runs, 28 runs batted in. Oh, 2. Fouled away. Count stays at 0-2. Looks like Howden here will head to the dugout, try to switch bats here. Get that 2-strike bat out of the dugout here. It's interesting. It looks like, well, hard to tell from up here. But maybe a slightly shorter bat. 0-2 pitch on the way. Up high, 1-2. Up high, 2-2. Two-two offering from Marley to Howden. Working from the stretch with the bases empty. Misses outside there, and the count goes full 3-2. Looks like after the rain picked up briefly, maybe starting to slow again. As that misses outside, ball 4, and for the second straight inning, Marley issues a 1-out walk. This time he was ahead in Howden on Howden, 0-2. But lets the at-bat get away from him there, and that'll now bring up the 7-hitter Bobby Hansen, the shortstop. Hansen batting at .274, 1 home run, 21 runs batted in. Just above the letters as the count goes to 1-0 on Hansen. Here's the 1-0. Fouled back. 1-1. It's funny because now after, in the first inning, the window broke on the dorm, you see the Alvernia fans all turn around now expecting to see it take out another window back there. Usually get a couple over the course of the season. 1-2 now the count. For those of you who have not been here before to Case Western Reserve in Nobby's Ballpark and know there may be a few more than normal who fit into that description, the ballpark itself is located at the corner of Wade Park and 118th Street. I guess 115th Street also. As that one chopped over the middle. Alonso with it, takes to the bag for one, spins and throws to first, but it won't be in time. So it goes, pardon me, that was Arterburn who is at short today, makes that play. And there are 2 gone. Hansen now the runner at first. And Garrett Hunter, a .329 hitter, will be the batter. But, you know, obviously you could see on the video the houses that surround the field that are just community houses on the outside. But if you go behind us, as on the outside corner with the fastball to Hunter, it's 0-1. You have some of the upper-class dorms that are, I don't know, maybe 25 feet, 50 feet behind the stands. Football field on the other side of those. And they'll say that Hunter went around there. The Alvernia crowd didn't appreciate the call. Count, meanwhile, goes to 0-2 on Hunter, and Marley can work his second straight scoreless inning. Resets on the hill, throws to first, and getting back there will be Hansen. Marley wary of Hansen potentially taking off here with a 2-strike count and 2 away. Hansen has stolen 3 bases on 4 attempts. That one over towards first and finds a hole for a base hit. Hansen stops at second. But a good piece of 2-strike hitting there for Hunter.
Number 27, Logan Nelson.
And that will, at the very least, clear the bottom of the lineup here for Alvernia as Logan Nelson, the center fielder, will be the batter. And Nelson, not your typical 9-hitter. He's been a pretty productive hitter for Alvernia so far this year. .312 on the season with 4 home runs, 25 runs batted in. You know, usually there's some deficit when you see a 9-hitter in a lineup. You know, it's either average or power, one of those things. But Nelson has exhibited all of that this year. He's slugging at .520. He's got an on-base percentage of about .420. So both pretty good numbers. It's not often you see a 9-hitter with an OPS of .940. First pitch misses outside, and it's 1-0 on Nelson. Two on, 2 away. Spartans leading 3-0 here in the bottom of the first as that misses up high, 2-0. So a little bit of trouble here for Marley. He was allowed a walk and a hit this inning. And with 2 outs, the tying run at the plate for Alvernia. 2-0. Swing and a miss when reaching for a pitch up high, and it's now 2-1. Marley, the senior, out of Clearwater Beach, Florida, a 4-year starter for the Spartans. A little high. Marley tried going back to the same pitch he threw to get the swinging strike from Nelson. Here's the 3-1 offering. On the outside corner, full count 3-2. So payoff pitch upcoming here for Marley. Dangerous in the sense, though, that with 3-2 and 2 away, the runners will be going on the pitch here. So if a ball finds the gap, it can make it a 1-run game very quickly. Here's the 3-2 to Nelson. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Marley gets his second strikeout of the game to end the second inning. So no runs on a hit, 2 men left on in the second for Alvernia, and the Spartans, who scored 3 in the first, will go back to work here in the second. Bottom of the order with Alonzo, Stilson, and Arterburn due up when we return. Franco Alonso takes that down and out for a ball, and it's 1-0 on the Spartans' second baseman. 7, 8, and 9 in the Case Western Reserve order, with the Spartans leading 3-0. And Alonso bits that deep towards left field. It is gone. Franco Alonso with his 4th home run of the season, and the Spartans lead 4-0. No doubter from Franco Alonso as that ball finds its way onto Wade Park Drive. the graduate transfer from Cornell. He's fired up, and the Spartans are, as it's now 4-0.
Fielder, number 10, Tyler
2 no-doubt home runs so far for Case Western Reserve as the offense has picked up right where it left off to end the regular season. Now Tyler Stilson, the batter, the first-year left fielder, takes that on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Be interesting to see Tyler this weekend and how he performs in the tournament as that one misses up high, 1-1. But Tyler, who the Spartans relied on as their fourth starter through much of the regular season, it'll be interesting to see how he's used in the postseason. It's up high, where really you probably don't necessarily need that fourth starter. You might go in a route where you're using one of your long relievers. Swing and a miss there from Stilson, and the count goes to 2-2. Stilson's hitting at .333 on the year, 3 home runs, 19 runs batted in. But, you know, Stilson is going to get a chance to probably focus a little bit more on hitting in the postseason. He fouls that one back, 2-2. The Chapel Hill, North Carolina product. Really, really talented player on what is a talented freshman class for this Case Western Reserve team. And boy, he hit that one a long way but foul as he was out in front of the off-speed pitch. The ball just jumps off of Stilson's bat when he is swinging it well. He's going to be a special player for this team. 2-2. And got jammed by the inside fastball. Fouls another one off, and the count stays at 2-2. Chris Sasso on the mound, now up to 28 pitches with nobody out here in the second. And a swing and a miss. Good curveball there. Gets Stilson swinging for the first out. First strikeout of the game for Sasso, who averages about 4.5 per game. And now Nate Arterburn will be the batter. Arterburn hitting at .250 on the year, 14 runs batted in. They're playing him back at third, and let's see if Arterburn looks to lay one down here. First pitch, he swings and grounds it towards first base. It corkscrews back into fair territory, and picking it up and stepping on the bag at first is Edwards for the second out of the inning. So 2 quick outs there.
Number 7,
And
Logan Andreyko.
Sasso now will go back to the top of the Spartans order and face Logan Andreyko, who hit one into center field on a fly out in the first inning. Now batting at .370 on the year. Lefty-lefty matchup. Andreyko waits the pitch and takes it down and in, ball 1. Despite allowing the home run, Sasso has certainly been a bit more around the strike zone here the last probably 5 or 6 batters going back to last inning, and that's a positive if you're Sasso right now. Again, if you're Alvernia, you want to see Sasso get deep into this game. Here's the 2-1. In the dirt. Pardon me, that was 3-0, and so that'll be ball 4. So Andreyko draws the walk. And now Jack Anderson, who walked and scored a run in his first at-bat of the game, will step up to the plate.
Number 5, Jack Anderson.
Anderson hitting at .405 on the season. The Spartans leading. It's 4-0. Bottom of the second inning. 2 outs, and Andreyko the runner at first. Logan has attempted 6 steals this year. He's been safe on all of them as he waits with Anderson taking the first pitch high for ball 1. We'll see if Andreyko is moving here. Here's the 1-0 to Anderson. And it misses inside. 2-0. The rain has stopped. Really a stop for the first time all day pretty much. You look at the radar right now, we are kind of living good right now. We're sitting right in between a pocket of rain, a few patchy pockets of rain to the north and south of us, but hopefully we can keep threading that needle. Anderson swings and fouls one off, got a bit in front of the 2-0 pitch to bring it to 2-1. 2-0 pitch to bring it to 2-1.
Number 6, Jack Anderson.
Anderson swings and fouls one off, got a bit in front of the 2-1 pitch. 2-0 pitch to bring it to 2-1. 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 2-0 pitch 2-1 on the way. Pick off at first. That was one. Sasso wasn't even looking over at first base when he threw over there. And almost threw it away. Good job by Edwards to come off the bag. Dangerous hitter here at the plate in Jack Anderson. Runner goes, the 2-1, swing and a miss. And that'll be a strike. Moving up to second base on the steal is Andraco. That was one where Anderson, knowing that there was a steal there, took a big hack at that one, trying to make it a bit more difficult to make a throw down. And now runner in scoring position for Anderson. And he foul tips that one off. Jack has taken some big hacks at the plate here. Spartans playing for the first time in almost 2 weeks. Their last game was Sunday, May 5th, when they ended the regular season with a win over John Carroll. Not that I'm rubbing it in or anything, but another one fouled off there. Joe Ginley, the sports information director from John Carroll here, helping us out on the scoreboard. 2-2 pitch on the way. And Anderson swings, ground ball to short. Fielded there, nice play. Throw to first in time to get the out. As Bobby Hansen having to go into that hook slide to pull that ball in, but does so successfully. Pops up quick and is able to make the play. I believe, and let's see, I think the Spartans are going to maybe try to do some work on the mound here between innings. Yeah, they're going to get some Diamond Dry out there and try to clean up some of those wet spots on the mound. We'll take a quick break. In the meantime, it is 4-0 now. Case Western Reserve leading after the Franco Alonso home run. Spartans up 4-0. Alvernia, heart of their order coming up when we return. Case Western Reserve, 4-0 lead over Alvernia. Game 1 of the regional. The Spartans, the top-seeded team here in the regional. Alvernia is seeded 4th, and that pitch swung on, ground ball, just gets past Powers. And that'll be a base hit for the leadoff hitter, Evan Thomas, who's now 1 for 2 in the day after striking out in his first at-bat. Powers almost gloved that one cleanly. He made a diving attempt at it, but it just ticked off of his glove and rolled in towards left field. And so it'll be a leadoff single for Thomas and bring up Quincy Sanison to the plate, who's hitting a .231 on the year after drawing a walk in his first at bat, and takes that pitch up and in from Marley, 1-0. How the Spartans use Reese Marley this weekend will be interesting. It always is when you get to this time of the tournament, this time of the season, how teams use starting pitching. You go all season long, you go through the UAAs, you're playing a lot of games during the course of a week, and you're sometimes going 3, 4, sometimes 5 deep in starting pitchers. This weekend, it's going to be a little bit different, and the question becomes, you get a guy like Reese Marley, maybe he throws 100, 120 pitches in this game. Does he come back on Sunday if you need him? Up and in for a ball, 2-1. Reese is senior, and he's continuing his athletic career next year as a Division I player at Illinois. But, he's a guy who is going to lay it on the line here for the team. And the question becomes, how quickly does he come back if needed? That ball hit in the air, left field. Stilson drifting over, puts it away for the out, and there's one gone as Sanderson is retired.
Second baseman, number 16, Mike Raimondo.
I'll bring up Mike Raimondo to the plate. 0 for 1, a fly out to deep center field his first time up. Raimondo now heading at .456 for the campaign. Nice breaking ball, catches the outside corner for a called strike. And it's 0-1. Runner on at first, one away. Marley delivers inside for a ball, 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Nope, throw down to first instead. Well, the rain has cleared out for the moment at least, and so now it just sort of looks like a normal Cleveland day. Called strike at the knees, lower outside corner. I joke about the Cleveland weather. We're actually getting into that time of the year where there is probably no better place to be weather-wise than Cleveland. Ground ball, could be 2 if they hurry. Arterburn flips to Alonso to first, and it's not in time. So second time today that the Spartans have been a little bit tardy, turning a ground ball, potential inning-ending double play. Instead, it'll put a runner at first, Raimondo with 2 away, and bring up the designated hitter, Jason Kelly. Kelly hitting at .384 on the year. He flew out to right field his first time up. Takes that outside, ball 1, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Foul tipped into the catcher's glove, 1-1. 50 pitches now in the game for Marley. Marley has pitched 1 complete game among his 11 starts this season. Came against Brandeis, a 6-3 Spartans win in April. He threw 140 pitches in that game, so he's capable of airing it out if he needs to. Swing and a miss brings the count to 1-2. Home plate umpire for today's game, Kevin Worth. Worth will also have the 6th game of the series behind home plate. It's a 6-man umpiring crew this weekend. That misses up and out for a ball. They'll work on 3-man shifts through the first 2 days of the tournament, and then the 2 deciding games, the championship game and the, if necessary, games 6 and 7, we'll see a full 4-man crew out there. Pickoff attempt at first, not in time. Also joined in the press box here today by Tim Farrell, the University Athletic Association Sports Information Director. Fouled off, 2-2. This is a busy time of the year for Tim with all the UAA schools competing. Yep, as Tim said, tennis, what is it, 3 on the men's side in the Final Four, more for tennis this year in the UAA? Yep, so 3 men, 3 women, in the Elite 8. That one misses outside. Full count now on Kelly, 3-2. Baseball, the only UAA team are the Spartans. Softball, there were 2 that made it. Wash U and Case Western Reserve. 3-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Marley, for the second straight inning, ends the frame with a strikeout. It's now 4 men left stranded today for Alvernia, and we'll move along to the bottom of the third. The Spartans have scored 4 runs so far and lead 4-0. They'll send the heart of the order up, Powers, Harms, and Camphausen when we come back. James Powers swings and misses at the first pitch, and it's 0-1. Powers' timing looking a little bit off early on here. Hasn't taken his normal swings quite yet. Hits that one in the air, gets jammed. It's into shallow center, into the Bermuda Triangle out there, but the shortstop is back, and making the catch is Bobby Hansen. Good job by Hansen there getting back on that one. He's looked impressive so far defensively at short in this one. Hansen, as he retreats to his position on the year, .907 fielding percentage, but some of that's just by nature of the position. You're going to commit errors at shortstop because you get so many balls hit to you. Nick Harms takes that down and in for a ball. 1-0 on Harms, who singled in a run his first time up. Swing and a miss from Harms. 1-1 the count. So Harms, who began the day tied for the program's all-time single-season lead in home runs, falls 1 behind Camphausen. As a swing and a miss there from Harms brings the count to 1-2. Nick hitting .348 against lefties this season. He's been good against left-handed pitching. That one hit hard, through for a base hit, and for the second time today, Nick Harms singles against the lefty Sasso. And so the Spartans have a 1-out base runner, and with Dane Camphausen coming to the plate here. Camphausen hit a 2-run homer to put the Spartans up 3-0 in the first. He's now batting at .390 on the year. He's got 57 runs batted in. First pitch stays up high, ball 1. I would imagine Harms is not going to be super aggressive here at first with Camphausen at the plate. The 1-0. Down and out for a ball, 2-0. Camphausen's home run was over the wall in left center field. A little bit rare for Camphausen, whose real power field is to right center. Rare for a Division III player that you see a guy hit as many home runs the opposite way as Camphausen typically does. Here's the 2-0 to Dane. Ground ball hit hard, foul down the third baseline, and it's 2-1. Dane, 6'8", 260 pounds. Not from Grenoble, France. Briggsy will get that reference, I bet. There we go. Needed a wrestling guy in the booth to get that one. 3-1 the count. Been a while since I've watched, well, it was WWF back when I watched it. Roman Reigns? There we go, Tim. Well done. 3-1 now the count. When I first got married, we used to throw an annual WrestleMania party at my house. My wife was a fan, believe it or not. And Camphausen can't hold up on that one. That brings the count full 3-2. So with a 3-2 count, one away, let's see if Harms is moving here. Sasso has shown a good pickoff move so far, so Harms might not be running in this situation. And I wouldn't be shocked. Yeah, there's the throw over from Sasso. Sasso's got a couple different moves. He's got that slower move to first, and then he sort of has that no-look move. There's some lefty deception that you can throw at first base here. Harms has to be careful. This one's to the plate. Harms gets the jump, but it doesn't matter. That's taken ball 4. And there'll be 2 on with 1 away. And so now a runner in scoring position. Camphausen over at first. And Zach Carinci, who flew out to right field in his first at-bat, will be the hitter. Carinci now hitting at .314. Zach has really rounded into shape as this season has gone on. Again, started the year hurt, but is back what appears to be full strength now. Takes that up high, ball 1. Not sure we'll ever see Zach back out on the mound like we did early on in his career when he was just an absolute dynamite closer for this team. But he has made an impact at the plate throughout his career. That throw goes down to first, not in time. It's 2-0. And fouled away there. 1-2 the count. Sasso trying to get through the inning, unscored upon. 2 on, 2 away. And that ball swung on and hit in the air down the right field line, and that's a base hit. Rounding third and coming in to score is Harms. Camphausen pulls into third, in at second with an RBI double is Zach Carinci. That is his 8th double, 20th run batted in the season, and it's now 5-0 Spartans.
Second baseman, number 2, Franco Alonso.
Well, the Spartans have come out swinging here in this one. They've scored at least 1 run in each of the first 3 innings, and now it's 5-0 Spartans, and that'll bring Franco Alonso to the plate. Alonso hit his 5th home run of the season his last time up. He's batting at .328 now. And a pitch called a strike, 0-1. That was the 198th hit of Carinci's career. As Alonso fouls that back, 0-2. He and Camphausen are both starting to approach that 200 mark. Swing and a miss, hit a pitch in the dirt, strike 3. No, they'll say he foul-tipped it. So Alonso just got a piece of that to stay alive. Here's the 0-2. And a little up high, just curved over the top of the strike zone, 1 and 2. Alvernia has traveled well. They brought a lot of fans with them here. Here's the pitch. And a swing and a miss, and that'll be strike 3. So that'll be the second out of the inning. Alonso down swinging, and now Tyler Stilson will be the batter. Stilson 0 for 1. He struck out swinging his first time up. The only other strikeout in the game so far for Sasso. And Stilson fouls off the first pitch. Tyler now hitting at .330 on the year. He's driven in 19. Good first year for Stilson. And it's popped up, fouling out of play, 0-2 on Tyler. Now the 0-2. 2 in scoring position. And Stilson hits that in the air pretty deep towards left center field. Going back at the wall and making the catch on the run is Logan Nelson, who had to go a long way to track that one down, but does so successfully to end the third. The Spartans had a run on an RBI double by Zach Carinci, and Case Western Reserve is leading 5-0 over Alvernia. Fourth inning coming up for the Spartans. It'll be Edwards, Howden, and Hanson when we return. Case Western Reserve University 5-0 on top of Alvernia as we begin the fourth. Edwards, Howden, and Hanson due up. Edwards 0 for 1, a fly out to center field in his first at bat. 5-hitter in the Alvernia lineup, now batting at .315 on the year. Reese Marley has been good so far. 3 innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, and is working with a 5-run lead. The pitch. Outside, ball 1 to Edwards, 1-0. Line drive, center field, charging in is Andraco, and he makes the catch. Draco, who's played a great defensive center field all season long, has certainly been tested here today, but he's looked good out there so far. And Reese Marley now with 57 pitches through 3 1/3 has 1 out here in the fourth, and will face Ben Howden, who fell behind in the count 0-2, switched bats and ended up drawing a walk. His first time up, that was in the second inning with 1 out. That pitch taken on the upper outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Pitch just misses, and it's 1-1. 1-1 on the way. Marley delivers. Called strike. And it's 1-2. Reese might have gotten a haircut here before the NCAA tournament. Maybe looking a little less shaggy than he's been. It might just be hair's a little wet today. Swing and a miss at the pitch in the dirt. Strike 3. And that'll be the second out of the inning.
Shortstop, number 17, Bobby Hansen.
It's 2 away now for Bobby Hansen, who grounded into fielder's choice to short his first time up. Fouled off. Reese Marley, a little bit of a pedigree pitching in the tournament, made the start against Mary Washington last year. A game the Spartans won big in the first game of the tournament, and he was brilliant last year in that game. You want a guy who could set the tone for you. Reese has been that guy for the Spartans over his career, and doing so here so far today. That ball grounded to short. Arterburn, right on target, inning over. A 1-2-3 inning, first of the day for either pitcher. And the Spartans will take a 5-0 lead into the bottom of the fourth. 9-1-2 in the order. Arterburn, and Draco, and Anderson. The A's coming to bat for the Spartans when we return. New pitcher on the mound for Alvernia will be Grant Fitzgerald, the lefty. Fitzgerald, who wears number 32, a sophomore out of Kutztown, Pennsylvania. Kutztown? Kutztown. Kutztown. Thanks, Briggsy. First pitch misses for a ball, 1-0. To Nate Arterburn, who grounded out his first time up. Swings and misses there. The Kutztown native Fitzgerald, 0-3 on the season with a 10.13 ERA. He's making his 10th appearance overall. 16 innings, he's allowed a .417 opponent's average. Head in the count here, 1-2. Line drive, caught by the shortstop, and boy, his Hansen looked good there at short defensively today. Snags a line drive there for the first out of the inning, and there's one gone with Logan Andreyko coming to the plate.
Center fielder, number 7, Logan Andreyko.
So another lefty here for the Spartans. I'm sure Alvernia hoping that Fitzgerald can keep this game close, give the Bats a chance, but regardless, they get Chris Sasso out of the game. And a little low, it's 3-0. And a called strike, 3-1. And Draco walked in his last at bat. Swing and a miss there. Count goes full, 3-2. And ball 4. So Andreyko draws his second walk of the day, and that'll bring Jack Anderson to the plate. Final line on Chris Sasso for Alvernia. 3 innings pitched, 5 runs, 5 hits, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. On the losing side of things right now in a 5-0 game. He threw 65 pitches in 3 innings, and so something to watch as this tournament goes on. If Alvernia makes it to a third day, do we see Sasso again? Or frankly, even tomorrow could we see Sasso again? Anderson fouls off the first pitch, and it's 0-1 with Andreyko at first. Logan stole his seventh base of the season earlier. Here's the 0-1. And fouled away, 0-2. Ground ball through for a base hit for Anderson. Andreyko turns on the afterburners. He'll head into third. And another base hit for Jack Anderson. That's his first hit of the game.
Number 12,
But the Spartans keep it rolling. 6th hit for Case Western Reserve as that one just found its way through up the middle. And with one away, runners on the corners, and the Spartans can add on further as James Powers comes to the plate. Well, Powers hasn't looked like his normal self yet, but he has a way of snapping into form pretty quickly. Some weak contact early on here for Powers. He's bounced one to the out in front of the plate. Hit a pop-up to short in his 2 trips to the plate. Takes that one for a ball, and it's 1-0. Spartans are leading 5-0. Home runs from Franco Alonso as that one's fouled back. And Dane Camphausen so far today. A couple of scorched baseballs in this one. Again, if you're a Case Western Reserve, you could not have asked for a better start so far. Unlike the rest of us, the winning teams will get a chance to sleep in tomorrow. First game tomorrow set for 8:30 between the losing teams from today. That ball hit in the air deep towards right field. Back at the track, looking up, and it's off the top of the wall. Powers pulls into second. Anderson goes to third. He had to stop halfway. Coming in to score is Andraco. It's an RBI double for Powers. Didn't miss the home run by much. And it's now 6-0 Case Western Reserve.
Fielder, number 26, Nick Harms.
Well, this Nick Harms, 2 for 2 with a pair of base hits and an RBI today. Hitting a .292 on the year. Second and third. Infield in for Alvernia, and Harms with a big swing and a miss. And it's 1-1. Well, the Spartans looking every bit like a top-seeded team in this tournament so far. And that hits Harms. Harms plunged square on the back with that one, and that will load the bases here for Dane Camphausen. Camphausen 1 for 1, a 2-run home run in the first, a walk in the third.
Dane Camphausen.
And as the sun begins to shine on Nobby's ballpark, Dane Camphausen hoping to make it a little bit more of a lead here for the Spartans with the bases loaded and one away. First pitch. And taken for a strike by Camphausen, 0-1. Camphausen now batting at .390 on the year. He's driven in 57, including 13 by way of the home run. Well, 13 home runs, I should say. It has been a tremendous season for Camphausen, as that misses outside. Dane, who played 4 years as an undergraduate at Worcester, in his first year as a graduate student here at Case Western Reserve, and he's due for another season as well. He's got one more year of eligibility. Ground ball. This could end the inning. To short for one, on to first, and not in time. Camphausen legs it out down the first baseline, and will look to be a tailor-made double play ball. Ends up being an RBI fielder's choice for Camphausen, who's now driven in 3 today, and it's now 7-0.
Designated hitter, number 31, Zach.
That one a little slow to develop in the infield, and it cost Alvernia a chance to get out of the inning. Instead, runners on the corners now, 2 away, a run across. 2 have scored this inning for the Spartans. As a called strike to Zach Carinci, who had an RBI double in his last at-bat. And the count goes to 0-1 on the Twinsburg product. Carinci hitting at .320 on the year, the 0-1. Ground ball, third base side, just foul, 0-2. Again, for Spartan fans, you might remember last year when Case Western Reserve got out to that big lead in their first tournament game against Mary Washington. Similar story here so far today. It's now 7-0 Spartans, bottom of the 4th. Carinci trying to add on, takes a called strike 3, though, on the outside corner, and that ends the inning. 2 runs, though, for the Spartans on 2 hits. It's 7-0 as we move to the 5th. 8-9-1 for Alvernia. Hunter, Nelson, and Thomas due up when we return. Welcome back once again. Case Western Reserve leading 7-0 over Alvernia. The Spartans have poured it on early on in this one as we approach the midpoint of the game. Alvernia will send their 8, 9, and 1 hitters to the plate. Hunter, Nelson, and Thomas. Like it. 3 guys with last names that could also be first names, all hitting back-to-back in the order. Always fun. This is Garrett Hunter, the catcher, who takes ball 1 and then fouls off the 1-0, and the count evens 1-1. Hunter hitting a .338 on the season. Misses outside. 2-1. Now the 2-1 offering. And that's on the inside corner. Count evens 2-2. Called. And one misses for a ball. So full count 3-2. And outside, ball 4. So that ends a stretch of 6 straight retired.
Center fielder, number 27, Logan Nelson.
And we'll bring the 9-hitter Logan Nelson to the plate. Nelson struck out swinging his last time up. Steve Grunberg, the pitching coach for the Spartans, will head out and talk things over here with Marley with a runner on and no one out. Spartans up big, 7-0, but the game's certainly not out of reach yet. Now the meeting on the mound will break up. So Marley with a runner on and nobody out will try to work around the leadoff hitter reaching base. Logan Nelson is the batter. And after that strikeout in his first at-bat, takes the first pitch there outside, ball 1. And fouls that off. 1-1 now the count. The 1-1. Outside for a ball, 2-1. Last thing you want to do here if you're Marley is start issuing walks. See if he can settle in and find the strike zone. Doesn't with that pitch, and it's now 3-1. Next pitch will be the 75th of the game for Marley. Reese sets and delivers. Swung on, grounded through the left side of the infield for a base hit. Hunter stops at second, but the 8 and 9 hitters have both reached here in the inning for Alvernia. And the Golden Wolves have something going as they try to climb back in the game. 2 on, nobody out in the top of the order with Evan Thomas stepping to the plate. Thomas 1 for 2 in the game. Strikeout swinging in the first, singled in the third. He's hitting at .300 on the year. Spartans will cheat in a step on the corners. Camphausen way in expecting the bunt. And that one bunted down the third baseline. Powers with it, throws to first. Nope, holds on to it. It won't be in, wouldn't have had a play. And that'll be an infield bunt single. Perfect bunt there by Thomas, and that loads him up. And all of a sudden, a little bit of trouble here for Marley, as Quincy Asanason will be the batter. Asanason hitting at .231 on the season, 227 on the year as he takes a called strike. 0 for 1, walked and flown out to right field in his 2 at-bats. Hunter at third, Nelson at second, Thomas at first, nobody out. As that one, chopper hit towards third. With it is Powers, and he's not going to have a play. And it'll be another infield hit there for Alvernia, and the Golden Wolves are on the board. It's 7-1.
Second baseman, number 16, Mike Raimondo.
So still nobody out, and now starting to get into the dangerous part of this order is Mike Raimondo, who's 0 for 2, but hitting at .453 on the season with 36 runs in the year, batted in on the year. Steps to the plate and takes that one for a called strike, 0-1. The Spartan bullpen not up and moving yet. But might get moving pretty soon here. The 0-1. Called strike, and it's 0-2. Again, last thing you want to do if you're the Spartans is let Alvernia gain any hope. Quicker you can put an end to the threat, the better off you are here. The 0-2. Ground ball towards second base. Alonso is there. Gloves, flips on to first in time to get the out. All the other runners move up, including Nelson, who comes across to score. Asanason moves to second, Thomas to third. It's an RBI for Raimondo, his 37th of the year. It's now 7-2, and Jason Kelly will be the batter. Kelly 0 for 2 with a flyout and a strikeout, hitting at .381 on the year. Base hit here can make it a 3-run game. Pitch from Marley misses outside. Well, mentioned the walks with Marley, but his bugaboo besides the walks has been that one bad inning each game. And he seems to have run into it here. The question is, can he minimize the damage? Good pitch there for a strike, 1-1. I was talking with Steve Grunberg about it yesterday, and one of the things he said about Reese was said, hey, you know, it's Reese, and like many pitchers, is going to have that inning where he struggles. The question is it going to be a 5-run struggle or a 3-run struggle? Right now it's a 2-run struggle. As that one misses low, 2-1. Alvernia's bats have woken up a bit this inning. 2 runs across, 2 more in scoring position. Swing and a miss there by Kelly. Good changeup by Marley. And it's now 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. On the outside corner, a called strike 3. Marley with the backdoor slider gets Kelly looking, and that'll be the second out of the inning, and a big second out at that.
Number 3, Matt Edwards.
So 2 gone now, and that will bring up Matt Edwards, who's flown out to center field twice today. Edwards hitting at .313 on the year. He's got 7 home runs to lead Alvernia. 41 runs batted in. Hits that in the air, foul down the first base side. And it's 0-1. Down low. 1-1 the count. Marley trying to limit the damage. Here's the 1-1. 2-1. Next pitch will be the 90th of the game for Marley. Here with 2 outs in the 5th. Two one on the way. Just a little low, 3-1. Walk here would load the bases with Ben Howden waiting out on deck. Edwards has 2 in scoring position with 2 away, a 3-1, and that'll miss inside, and that will load the bases. So Ben Howden, who has walked and struck out in his 2 plate appearances, now the batter, and he'll hit with the bases loaded and 2 away. Big at bat in this game coming up. Down low, ball 1. Howden hitting .306 on the season. He's driven in 28 runs. He does have 5 home runs, and a home run here, while it wouldn't tie it, would make it a 1-run game. The 1-0. Inside corner, 1-1. Good pitch from Marley. Jackson Brewer will begin to throw in the Spartan bullpen as Howden awaits the 1-1. And it's in the air, center field. And Draco there underneath it, puts it away for the out. And in what could have been a disastrous inning, Marley settles in, allows just 2 runs, and preserves a 5-run lead for the Spartans. 2 runs on 3 hits for Alvernia. They leave the bases loaded, and we'll move into the 5th, bottom half of the 5th, and the bottom of the order for the Spartans. Alonzo, Stilson, and Arterburn due up when we return. Franco Alonso leading things off for the Spartans. 1 for 2 with a home run and a strikeout today. The home run is 5th of the season. And takes the pitch on the outside corner for a called strike, 0-1. Now down low, 1-1. Grant Fitzgerald now in his 2nd inning of work. Allowed 2 runs in the 4th, pitching here in the 5th. And Alonso takes that outside, 2-1. The Spartan bullpen is quieted down for the moment, so it looks like Marley will get at least 1 more inning as that ball grounded up the middle. And it's a base hit for Alonso.
Left fielder, number 10, Tyler Stilson.
So Franco Alonso now 2 for 3 in the game, and Tyler Stilson will be the batter. Stilson 0 for 2, a strikeout swinging, and a fly out to center field. The ball he hit to center field was sent a long way to deep left center. Pitch taken, ball 1 by Stilson, 1-0. Now the 1-0. And that one fouled off, 1-1. Tyler Stilson, the first year, has bounced around the field for the Spartans. We've seen him at short, a little bit at third, a little bit at second. Now in left field, he's been the DH, he's pitched. He can do a little bit of everything. That one grounded, third base. Could be 2, but it's bobbled. Throw goes to first, and that won't be in time. And that'll be an error on the third baseman.
Shortstop.
So Ben Howden charged with an error. I think that's one of those where Howden was thinking about turning the double play before he got a good grip on the baseball to throw to second, and it just slipped out of his hand. And now we'll get a meeting on the mound here with 2 on and nobody out. And Nate Arterburn, the batter, and this, as much as it will be a talk with the pitcher, might be a talk with the infield on how to approach a potential bunt situation here with Arterburn at the plate. Arterburn, for the year, has 3 sacrifice bunts, but he is a pretty skilled bunter, and I would imagine here he'll be trying to lay one down. So 2 on, nobody out. And after Alvernia got on the board in the top of the inning, the Spartans threatening to answer back here in the bottom of the frame against Fitzgerald. Arterburn is 0 for 2, a ground out to first and a line out to short. Line out was pretty good contact by Arterburn. Took a nice play by Hansen, the shortstop, to take a hit away from Arterburn. Throw will go to second, not in time. And there's the bunt from Arterburn down the third baseline, fielded by Howden. Its throw is low, but dug out nicely by the second baseman, as Raimundo had to get over there to make the play.
Center fielder.
And didn't have an easy throw to deal with.
And Draco.
So good job there by Raimundo, and now 2 in scoring position, and the infield will be pulled in here for Alvernia with 1 away, and Logan Andraco coming to the plate. Andraco has walked in each of his last 2 plate appearances, 0 for 1 on the day with a fly out to center field as well. And he takes the first pitch, letter high and on the inside corner for a strike, 0-1. Andraco has a .370 batting average this season, scored a run already in the game today, and has now scored 53 for the campaign. Been a great year for Andraco, who was named to the All-UAA second team. Takes that one inside, 1-1. Logan showed signs last year of emerging as one of the top players in the lineup, but he has just broken out this season. Has just been fantastic. Ground ball right to second base with the infield pulled in, and that paid off. The throw goes to first in time to get the out. Raimundo has made 2 nice defensive plays this inning, and that one saves a run on a hard-hit ball just right to the wrong spot. And Logan Andraco kind of coming back to the dugout, shaking his head a little bit there. He knows he hit it well. He did what he was supposed to do. It's just bad luck that he hit it right at the second baseman. And so now Jack Anderson with 2 outs trying to drive in the run. This is a big out to get here. Without those runners coming across, if you're Fitzgerald on the mound, again, your team scores 2 in the top of the inning, gets back into the game to a certain extent. And the last thing you want to do in that situation, if you're Fitzgerald, is give up any additional runs after your team does get on the board for the first time. But if you're the Spartans and you can answer back here, might be enough to get the momentum back in your favor. That ball hit the deep center, but should end the inning. Over to get it is Nelson, and the out is recorded. And that'll end the fifth. So the Spartans get the first two base runners on, but unable to score for the first time in an inning today. We'll move to the sixth. Alvernia coming back up. It'll be Hanson, Hunter, and Nelson, bottom of the order when we return. Bottom of the order for Alvernia. To begin the sixth against Reese Marley, Golden Wolves broke through for 2 runs in the fifth and now trail 7-2 as we begin the sixth. Reese Marley, who just threw his 95th of the pitch of the game outside for ball one, the 1-0, right there for a strike, 1-1. Hanson 0 for 2, a couple of ground outs today. He's hitting a .268 on the season. Muscles that one in the air, down the line and right. Long run over for Harms, but underneath it and slipping in foul territory makes the catch anyway for the out. And there's one gone.
Catcher, number 13, Garrett Hunter.
So a quick out for Marley, and that will bring up Garrett Hunter to the plate, who's 1 for 1 with a single and a walk. Squares to bunt and takes the fastball up and in 1-0. Hunter now hitting at .338 on the year. Chopper, second base. Going to be a tough play for Franco. Has to charge, but is able to get there and throw to first. Made it look easier than I thought it would be off the bat, but good job by Alonzo, and there's 2 gone.
Number 27, Logan Nelson.
So 2 outs and a chance for a quick inning for Marley, who is about to throw his 100th pitch of the game and will do so to Logan Nelson, who is 1 for 2 and hitting at .315 on the year. Singled and scored a run last inning. And he hits that in the air deep down the line in left field, coming over, and it will land foul. Stilson unable to get to that one. And it's an 0-1 count. Two outs, bases empty. Marley looking for 1-2-3-6. He's ahead in the count, 0-1 on Nelson. And that one sent foul, 0-2. See if Marley can get through the inning in order. The pitch. Skips one in the dirt, and it goes to 1-2. I think Coach Englander coming out, Jack Anderson might have gotten hurt. Looks like maybe his thumb. Spencer Furlick, the trainer for the Spartans, taking a look at it as well. You know, you always get it with Jack if he's not a guy who you typically see be bothered by a nick or a bruise, and so you get a little bit concerned when there's this much concern around him. Jack checking it out. It's his catching hand. Seems to be content. So 1-2 count now after the brief delay. Nelson the batter, Marley the pitcher, his 103rd pitch of the game. And it misses. No, did it say it hit him? Called ball 2. Nelson started walking down. So the count now 2-2. Not much of an argument there for Nelson. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, ground ball hit up towards the middle and through for a base hit. So single up the middle for Nelson, who reaches base for the second straight at bat. And now back to the top of the order with Evan Thomas coming to the plate. Thomas with 2 hits in this one, a single in the 3rd and a single in the 5th. He's 2 for 3 and hitting at .311 on the year. Marley will get a new baseball. Anything that's hit to that outfield grass is going to come back pretty damp today. Again, if you're just joining us, there was some steady rain pretty much from about 8 in the morning until a little bit after first pitch here. It delayed our game time an hour and a half. But that rain has cleared away since. The 1-0 now on the way to Thomas is down and in, ball 2. See if Marley can settle in here. I would imagine this might be his last batter either way. Jackson Brewer has continued to throw in the pen now. That one chopped foul. 2-1. Two-1. Runner starts and stops as the ball fouled off by Thomas, and the count now 2-2. Two and two, 2 away, runner on, 7-2 Spartans leading. Top of the 6th inning against Alvernia. Here's the 2-2. Up and out for a ball, 3-2. Here's the 3-2. Runner will go on the pitch, and it's a called strike 3 on the outside corner. Another strikeout for Reese Marley to end the inning, and that will preserve a 5-run lead and likely end the day for Marley, who will leave with a 7-2 lead. No runs on a hit, a runner left on for Alvernia. We will move to the bottom of the sixth. Heart of the order for the Spartans. Powers, Harms, and Camphausen due up when we come back.
James Powers.
7-2 the score as we begin the bottom of the sixth. James Powers coming up to bat. Heart of the order for the Spartans with a 5-run lead. First pitch to Powers. Swings and hits that in the air. Left field going back, reaching up and making the catch is the left fielder, Evan Thomas, to retire Powers on the first pitch of the inning from Fitzgerald. A hard hit ball by Powers. Not an easy one to field if you're in the outfield. Just one of those hard hit line drives right at you pretty much. But a good job by Thomas out there to pull that one in. There's one gone now for Nick Harms, who's 2 for 2 in the game. Harms now batting at .292. An RBI single in the first inning from Harms got the Spartans on the board. He added a single and a run scored in the third and then was hit by a pitch in the fourth. And there got on top of a breaking ball and fouls it off 0-1. Spartans with 3 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, 2 in the fourth. Alvernia scored their 2 runs thus far in the top of the fifth, and that's got us to where we are, 7-2 the score. Good change up there by Fitzgerald. Harms comes up empty, and it's now 0-2. Dane Camphausen waiting out on deck. Fitzgerald awaits the 0-2. And his pitch is up high, 1-2. And that one's fouled back. 1-2 still. Off the outside corner, Harms holds up, and it's 2-2. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. Harms went chasing a high pitch there, second out of the inning. A chance for the first 1-2-3 inning of the day for Alvernia, as Dane Camphausen will be the batter. Camphausen 3 RBIs today on a 2-run homer in the first and an RBI ground out in the fourth. And hits that one hard and through the hole for a base hit. So Camphausen staying hot at the plate. And the Spartans have the base runner here for Zach Carinci. Carinci 1 for 3 in this one. An RBI double back in the third. That made it a 5-0 Case Western reserve lead. Camphausen not much of a stolen base threat at first base. He is 0 for 3 on stolen base tries this season. First pitch to Carinci, down and in for a ball, and it's 1-0. Now the 1-0. Throw over to first instead. Fitzgerald has had a couple of awkward pickoff moves thus far today. We've seen him pick off to second base a few times. That one misses down and in, 2-0. Frankly, again, you don't want to play with fire too much here, but if you're Camphausen, you might want to take a few extra steps off the bag as Fitzgerald, again, not a super deceptive move. That ball hit to short, and taking it to the bag himself is Hansen for the final out. And that'll end the inning, but the Spartans leave a man stranded and lead 7-2 as we move along to the 7th. Due up this inning for Alvernia, it'll be Sanderson, Raimondo, and Kelly when we return. Reese Marley back out for another inning, so he'll keep on going here as the Spartans working with a 5-run lead. Marley's first pitch down and in to Quincy Asanason, and it's 1-0. Now outside, 2-0. And action continuing in the Spartan bullpen as Marley now with 112 pitches in the game. Trying to get through another inning here. He's definitely showing some signs of fatigue. And misses outside there, 3-0. And a walk here might spell the end of the day for him. Sonneson at the plate. Awaits the pitch. Down and away, ball 4. And a 4-pitch walk to start the 7th. Sonneson draws his second walk of the game. He's now 1 for 2 with those 2 walks and an RBI single. And so now with a runner on at first and nobody out, the batter will be Mike Raimondo. Raimondo is 0 for 3 in the game. He had an RBI ground out his last time up, drove in the second run of the game. We'll have a brief meeting on the mound here as Jack Anderson and Dane Camphausen come in to talk with Marley, as much as anything probably to buy some extra time in the bullpen for Jackson Brewer to get ready, as Brewer continues to warm out there. Meeting on the mound broken up. Home plate umpire Kevin Worth retreats behind the plate. And it looks like now the Spartans are going to make a pitching change. So Jackson Brewer will come in for Case Western Reserve. We'll be back. 7-2, Spartans leading when we return. Pass ball. Pass ball there allows Asanasin to move up. You know, 1 count at the plate on Ramundo, who now is a man in scoring position against Jackson Brewer. The Greenville, South Carolina product misses there, and it's 2-0. Two-0 offering on the way. Outside corner for a strike. Brewer, the junior, has had a nice season for the Spartans. 3-0 through 14 appearances, including a pair of starts. He has a 4.17 ERA and 2 saves on the season. The 2-1. Up and in, 3-1. And ball 4. So Brewer, who does not typically walk a lot of batters, issues a walk there. Back-to-back walks to start the inning, and 2 on, nobody out. And Jason Kelly will be the batter. Alvernia has hung in there well. They've stopped the bleeding in terms of allowing runs, held the Spartans scoreless the last 2, and now we're threatening again here. Nobody out in the 7th and 2 on. Kelly squaring a bunt. Not sure I buy it yet. We'll see. And it's bunted, third base side, and foul. So he does try to sacrifice here. Kelly, 3 sacrifice bunts this year. This is an Alvernia team that everybody lays down bunts pretty much. They have 42 sacrifice bunts in 44 games this season. Compare that to the Spartans, who have 6 sacrifice bunts all year long. And the goal here, I guess, Alvernia just willing to give up the out to move those 2 runners into scoring position as they try to get back into this game. The 0-1. Bunted up in the air out in front of the plate, and Anderson will let it go foul. Ball almost hit the bat there. So it's now an 0-2 count. We'll see if that picks off the bunt here. And Brewer, a dangerous hitter, no doubt. So might have been better off with him trying to lay one down. Kelly has 2 home runs, 42 runs batted in. Here's the 0-2. Big out here if Brewer can get it. And it's fouled off. Kelly just got a piece of it to stay alive. Two on, nobody out. The 0-2 once again from Brewer to Kelly. And it swung on, line drive, left field, foul. That did not miss by much, but definitely foul there. Kelly will once again have to retreat. If you're the Spartans, you'd certainly love to minimize the number of pitchers you use today with a big lead, as that one's fouled off. This game certainly feels a bit precarious at the moment, even with that 5-run lead. Here's the 0-2 from Brewer. Line drive and through for a base hit. Picked up in left field by Stilson. His throw is cut off by Powers. It's an RBI single for Brewer on an 0-2, pardon me, for Kelly on an 0-2 pitch off of Brewer. And all of a sudden, Alvernia has cut the lead down to 4 and has the potential game time run in the on-deck circle. So still 2 on, still nobody out, and Matt Edwards will be the batter. Edwards hitting at .313. He squares to bunt. Gets it down, third base side foul, 0-1. So a walk, and a single so far today. In this inning, I should say. Edwards is 0 for 2. Walked in his last at bat. He's flown out to center field twice. Squares to bunt again here. Here's the 0-1. And up high for a ball, 1-1. Edwards with 2 sacrifice bunts this year. Tyler Horvath up in the bullpen. He's begun to throw. And that's bunted foul. 1-2. Brewer gets the signs. Comes set. Here's his 1-2. And it's fouled away. A good Alvernia team. They do a lot of the little things right, led by longtime head coach Yogi Lutz. Done a good job with this squad. Nice block by Anderson. It's a 2-2 count. Two-two pitch from Brewer. Popped up center field. And to get it is Andraco. He makes the catch. Runner will tag, but stops. Good throw by Andraco to hold Raimundo at second base, and there's one gone in the inning.
Number 11, Ben Houghton.
So with one away now, still 2 on, and Ben Houghton will be the batter. Houghton so far today is 0 for 2, a walk, a strikeout, and a flyout. Hitting at .303 on the year. First pitch from Brewer. Down and in, ball 1. It's a 4-run game. Here's the 1-0. At the knees with the fastball, 1-1. One and one the count on Houghton at the plate. Raimundo at second, Kelly at first. Brewer looks back, now sets and delivers. In the air, center field shallow, charging it is Andraco, lines it up, makes the catch. And there are 2 gone. So a couple flyouts to center, and there's a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel here for Brewer. As Bobby Hansen will be the batter. Hansen hitting at .265. He's had a nice day defensively, but 0 for 3 at the plate. Big at bat here for Hansen. With 2 outs and 2 on. Alvernia down 4 to Case Western Reserve, 7-3 the score in the first game of the Cleveland Regional. Pitches down low, ball 1. Popped up. Again to center field. Andraco now charging in, still coming in, makes the catch. And so after the first 3 batters of the inning reach, Brewer gets 3 straight pop-ups to center field. And the Spartans maintain a 4-run lead. A run on a hit for Alvernia at 7-3 as we move into the bottom of the 7th. Bottom of the order for the Spartans, Alonzo, Stilson, and Arterburn due up when we come back. (7-3), the Spartans leading Alvernia. Case Western Reserve has led since the bottom of the first. Alvernia has made it closer after the Spartans led by as many as 7. Big reason for the Spartans' lead is the man stepping to the plate here, Franco Alonso, who's 2 for 3 in the game, including his 5th home run of the season, a solo shot in the second.
Franco Alonso.
Franco singled in his last at-bat back in the 5th inning, but Grant Fitzgerald, who continues to pitch for Alvernia, has been great on the mound today and has filled an important need for Alvernia after a short start from Chris Sasso. Swing and a miss there from Alonso, and it's 0-1. But Fitzgerald has come in, has held the Spartans to just 2 runs, and has kept Alvernia in this game while also eating up innings. Ground ball hit to short. Hansen. His throw is on target, and there's 1 gone. And so Fitzgerald continuing to get outs here. But again, if nothing else, you have to be of the mindset of, or 2 different mindsets here. A, if you're Alvernia, you're doing everything to win this game. So certainly, don't get me wrong there. That's certainly the goal of your Alvernia still. But if nothing else, you love for Fitzgerald to eat up as many innings as he can here in this situation. So you don't have to dip too deep into your bullpen. You don't have to waste any extra arms. Fitzgerald, a guy who, while he's certainly pitched a bunch this season for Alvernia, he's not one of their top relievers. And so, you start to think, okay, not only do we need to win this game, but also if we don't, how do we set ourselves up best to win this regional? Called strike on the outside corner to Stilson, and it's 0-2. Tyler. 0 for 3 in the game so far today. Sprays that one foul. Count stays at 0-2. Again, the winning team will advance to the winner's bracket tomorrow. They'll face the winner of our second game of the day between 2nd-seeded Ithaca and 3rd-seeded Lynchburg. Down and away. 1-2. That game currently scheduled for a noon start tomorrow. The earlier game will be between the 2 losing teams from today. As Stilson hits that in the air, deep towards right center field, but playable. Over to get is the center fielder Nelson, who's had a nice day out there today. And he'll put that away for the 2nd out of the inning.
Shortstop.
2 gone now for Nate Arterburn. Arterburn hitting a .245 on the season. Had a sack bunt in his last at-bat. 0 for 2 in the game. Takes ball 1, 1-0. Fitzgerald looking for the 1-2-3 inning. Called strike on the outside corner. It's 1-1. Spartans have not gone down in order yet today, but in danger of that here with the 9-hitter Arterburn at the plate and 2 away. And he pops that one up. That has a chance, and it will stay in play, and making the catch is the first baseman Edwards. And the inning is over, so the Spartans remain on top by 4. Alvernia's got 6 outs to work with. Bottom of their order, Hunter, Nelson, and then Thomas due up when we return. Seven to 3 the score. The Spartans on top by 4. 8, 9, and 1 for Alvernia due up. Hunter, Nelson, and Thomas. As that one chopped towards third. With it is Powers. Throw off his back foot is true for the out. And one pitch went out here for Brewer to begin the 8th. It's a big out to get, and this is a big inning for Brewer in general. With that 4-run lead, you've got the 8 and 9 hitters coming up. I mean, getting through these 2 guys and maintaining a 4-run lead heading into the bottom of the 8th would be huge right now. Brewer, who threw 22 pitches in his first inning of work. On the second pitch of the inning, Nelson fouls it off, and it's 0-1. Nelson 2 for 3 today, singles in each of his last 2 at-bats, scored 1 run as well. He's hitting at .320 on the year out of the 9 spot in the order. Again, good hitter to have in that 9 hole. The 0-1. And that's in there for a strike, 0-2, and Brewer a little bit more locked in here this inning. Second game of the day slated for a 3 o'clock start. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. Anderson applies the tag. And there's 2 gone. So Brewer does what he needs to do against the bottom part of the order. Now back to the top. As Evan Thomas will be the batter. Thomas 2 for 4, 2 singles, 2 strikeouts today for Thomas. Swing and a miss at the first fastball. Boy, Brewer just looking sharp right now. He's thrown 5 pitches so far this inning to get 2 outs. All 5 have been in the strike zone. The 0-1. In the air, right field should end the inning. Charging in is Harms. He's under it, makes the catch, inning is over. And a very quick 1-2-3 8th for Brewer, and we'll move to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Spartans leading by 4. Top of the order for Case Western Reserve, and Draco Anderson and Powers due up when we come back. Defensive change as we begin the bottom of the 8th for Alvernia. Jake Chapman takes over, and hitting first in the lineup for Evan Thomas, who made the final out of the last inning. For the Spartans here in the 8th, top of the order as they look to add on to a 4-run lead, and Andreyko takes the first pitch for a called strike, 0-1. Swung on, fouled off, and it's 0-2 on Andreyko. Logan 0 for 2 in the game with a pair of walks. Looking forward to next inning, it's going to be Asanason, Ramundo, and Kelly, 2, 3, and 4 in the Alvernia order to lead things off. It'll be at least a 4-run deficit for the Golden Wolves, and the Spartans trying to make the task more difficult here with the top of the order due up in the 8th. The 1-1. And Andreyko spins on an inside pitch and fouls it off to stay alive, 1-2. Bottom of the 8th inning. Spartans have led since the start of this one. It's now a 1-2 count, and Andreyko holds 2-2. Grant Fitzgerald has been good in relief. He allowed 2 runs in his first inning of work in the 4th, but has held the Spartans scoreless since. It's 2 runs on 4 hits, and a swing and a miss there. That's his 3rd strikeout, as Fitzgerald sits down Andreyko for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone now for Jack Anderson. Anderson hitting at .404 on the season. He is 1 for 3 in this game. He scored 2 runs with a single and a walk, and takes the backdoor pitch for a strike, 0-1. Called strike, 0-2. Down and out, 1-2 the count. And Anderson pokes that one down the right field line, but it'll tail foul and out of play. So the count remains 1-2 on Anderson with 1 out and the bases empty in the 8th. No action at the moment in the Spartans bullpen, so Brewer will at least get a chance to close this one out. Up and out, it's 2-2. Brewer, who already has 2 saves on the year. Chance for his 3rd of the campaign, should he finish this one out. As Anderson sends that one towards right field, coming over and making the catch in right field is Asanason for the out. Anderson doing a good job going the other way with that, but Asanason covering ground and puts it away, and there are 2 gone now. And James Powers will be the batter. Powers 1 for 4 in the game, but has hit the ball harder in his last 2 plate appearances when he has picked up an RBI double and a fly out to deep left. This ball popped up, foul and out of play. And it's 0-1 on Powers, who's hitting at .354 for the season. Popped up. Should end the inning. First baseman Edwards there and puts it away for the out. So we will move to the 9th. It's 7-3. The Spartans looking to pick up the win in the first game of the tournament. Alvernia hoping to have something to say about it. 2, 3, and 4 in their order due up. Asanason, Ramundo, and Kelly when we come back. Well, after allowing the first two batters he faced to reach on a walk and a single, Jackson Brewer has sat down the last 6 in order and is looking to close out a save opportunity here and give the Spartans a win in the first game of the NCAA tournament. It'll be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters to face Brewer. Asanason, Raimundo, and Kelly. Asanason, the only batter in the lineup yet to face Brewer. He was the final batter that Marley faced in the game. Drew a walk to chase Reese from the contest. Brewer's first pitch down and in, ball 1, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. On the outside corner, it's 1-1. And a line drive into left field, and that will get down for a base hit. Stilson has it and will get it in. Asanason diving into second base and will pull in with a leadoff double. So Asanason leads things off with an extra base hit and something cooking early on here for Alvernia, as Mike Raimundo will be the batter. Raimundo drew a walk in his first plate appearance against Brewer. He's 0 for 3 in the game. 7-3, top of the ninth. Spartans are leading. Alvernia, since falling behind 7-0, has scored 3 unanswered to get back into this game, but have some work to do here in the ninth. 3 outs to play with and a leadoff man on in scoring position already for the Golden Wolves as Brewer sets to deliver his 1-0. And it's fouled off down the right field line, 1-1. Game 2 slated to start at approximately 3 p.m. Here's the 1-1. And a wild pitch, and that'll move the runner up a bag. So Asanason to third. Two and 1 count on Raimundo. Called strike, 2-2. Two-two pitch from Brewer. Ground ball first base. Camphausen bobbles it, picks it up though, steps on the bag and gets the out. Holding at third is Asanason, and that's a big first out there from Brewer. They're all big outs, I guess, in the tournament, aren't they? So 1 away, runner at third now. Batter will be Jason Kelly. Kelly 1 for 4 in the game, an RBI single in his last at-bat. That came against Brewer in the 7th. Jackson on the hill delivers, and it swung on, grounded softly to second base. It'll get the run in, but Alonso flips over to first for the second out of the inning. And now, despite scoring the run, it's a 3-run game, but the bases are empty. And Alvernia down to their final out, as Matt Edwards, a .310 hitter, will stand in the way. Edwards trying to prolong the game. He flew out to center field his last time up, 0 for 3 in the game. He's flown out to center field, in fact, 3 times today. Has drawn 1 walk, checks his swing, and fouls it off, and it's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, 0-2. And Alvernia down to its final strike. The 0-2 on the way to Edwards. in the dirt. Ball 1-2. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and the Spartans pick up the win in the first game of the NCAA tournament. 7-4 the final here in Game 1 as Case Western Reserve picks up the victory. Alvernia falls to 28-17 on the season with the loss. With the wins, Case Western Reserve now 32-9. Winning pitcher is Reese Marley. Marley on the season 6-2. Save goes to Jackson Brewer. It's his third of the year. Losing pitcher today is Chris Sasso, the starter, who drops to 6-4 for Alvernia. The game lasted 2 hours and 28 minutes, and attendance here at the ballpark for today's game was 476. Want to thank everyone once again for joining us today. A reminder that Game 2 will begin at about 3 o'clock in approximately 1 hour as we will see Lynchburg and Ithaca face off in our second game of the day. Want to thank again once again for joining us, and we will see you in a little bit. Final score once again, Case Western Reserve 7, Alvernia 4. Have a great rest of your afternoon, everyone.